Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today is going to be Chaos PSY-Frame. Now this might not seem like it'll work out, but the thing is that it actually does work really well. So the whole point of the Chaos engine is to be able to search cards basically for free. If you hard draw into any of your Chaos cards, you can just use Chaos space to get rid of them and easily search any of your other PSY-Frame cards, which is actually very, very good. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting things off, I played 3 copies of PSY-Frame Gear Alpha. So basically, the whole point of PSY-Frames is that they're all hand traps. PSY-Frame Gear Gamma is probably the most prevalent one nowadays, but all the other ones still have very similar effects. When your opponent normally special summons a monster, while you control no monsters, you can special summon both this card from your hand and one PSY-Frame driver from your deck. So most of them are tuners, so they have that similar effect. So 3 copies of Alpha is very good just because it can get around your opponent's normal summon, and if you do, you can search a PSY-Frame from your deck, which is actually really good because during the end phase your PSY-Frames will pop themselves and banish the driver, so being able to get that out is really good. Plus just getting another free search is always going to be really good. I played 2 copies of Beta. You can special summon it when your opponent declares an attack. So this is really just to set up another body on the field. I played it at 2 because it's not as good. Basically all of its other effects are the same, but its secondary effect is you can special summon it and a driver, then destroy the attack position monster, then end the battle phase. During the end phase, banish the face-up special summon card. Same with most of them. So this card actually works out really well just because it can get rid of battling monsters. Like literally, it's the whole point of the deck. The deck is literally one giant hand trap. Play 3 copies of Gamma. This one is very prevalent nowadays and is basically just destroy a monster when it activates an effect. This card's actually really good. I played 2 copies of Delta. When your opponent activates a spell card. Now, normally you would have this at 3 copies, but I felt like you should run 3 copies of Epsilon, which negates trap cards. So, like, the reason I did this is just because of how prevalent L-Lich is, and really, you just need a lot of hard counters to L-Lich if you're gonna actually compete nowadays. The only, actually good deck that really plays spells is, Drytron, and even then, they're not reliant on their spells, so it won't really matter. I played 3 copies of PSY-Frame Multi-Threader. This card is basically just another stand-in for Driver. This becomes Driver when it's in the graveyard or on the field, or in the graveyard or in the hand. Plus, it has another special summon effect in the grave. Now, I forgot to play Foolish Burial in the deck, but Foolish Burial isn't actually needed. Like, it's not required, but it'd be a nice tech option just to put in here. But, multi-threaders are very good. Basically, it's just another free special summon that banishes itself after it leaves the field. And really, this is all just to go into PSY-Frame Lord Omega. So, like, yeah. 3 copies of it is definitely really good. 3 copies of PSY-Frame Driver. Now, the reason I play 3 copies of Driver is because you need to in the deck. Like, sure, it's technically a brick because you can't do anything with it by itself, but the thing is that the PSY-Frame cards can actually combo pretty well if you hard draw into it, because you can special summon a PSY-Frame Driver from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which actually works really well with multi-threader, but just getting a driver from the hand is fine too, so it doesn't really matter if you hard draw into it, because you're almost always going to hard draw into one of your other PSY-Frame cards immediately after. I played 3 copies of DD Crow. The reason I played DD Crow is specifically over something like Ash Blossom is because it's a dark card. This card is actually very prevalent right now, and because it's a dark, you can actually use this to counter cards, as well as use this for your Chaos plays, which is actually really good. I play 3 copies of Chaos Dragon Levianeer. This is like the best generic card, plus it can banish only light cards, plus it can special summon from the graveyard if you only banish light, so that's actually really good, especially since the PSY-Frames destroy themselves on end phase, so that's really good. I played 2 copies of Chaos Valkyrie, 1 copy of Chaos Creator, and 3 copies of Chaos Space. This is your generic Chaos lineup when it comes to most decks with the Levianeer. Really, they're just to gain more advantage because they're easy searchers for any of your or any of your PSY-Frame cards, because none of them can be normal summoned or set, so it doesn't really matter. Like, really, if you can go first or second and like still dominate your opponent. Like, this deck is actually pretty versatile, and the chaos cards just really up the consistency of the deck. I actually like it, but tell me what you think down in the comments, whether you would cut out any of the chaos cards. I play 1 copy of Terraforming, searches your field spell, which is one of your main cards in the deck. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, because your cards send themselves to the graveyard, so being able to get them back out is really good. 3 copies of PSY-Frame Circuit. This is a field spell of the deck. It basically lets you quick effect synchro summon, which is really good, but the reason I play it and you really want to get into it is because of your you can go into like a PSY-Frame Lord Omega or even one of your non-PSY-Frame cards, because this says if a PSY-Frame is special summoned, you can immediately after the effect resolves synchro summon using only PSY-Frames. So the thing is that you can use or go into non-PSY-Frames, like, because none of the cards actually lock you into PSY-Frames. So like, really, this is a 1-card Boral Sword, like, if you, or Borreload Savage Dragon if you really wanted it to, or like it could become a 1-card Synchro 8 no matter what, and it's definitely a really, really broken card. I played 2 copies of PSY-Frame Overload and 2 copies of PSY-Frame Accelerator. They're kind of just meh. They don't really have any worthwhile effects other than a few special summons. Because, like, I just play them because it's, like, kind of okay in the deck, because you don't need to play during your turn. So, like, it's meh. Like, this deck is better during your opponent's turn, so, like, really just running the traps is fine. You don't really need them, but they're nice extenders when you want them. I played 2 copies of PSY-Frame Lord Lambda. You can activate this effect of a PSY-Frame Gear Monster. You can activate the effect of a PSY-Frame Gear Monster in your hand while you control a monster, which is actually really, really important, because this means that you can infinitely abuse your PSY-Frame cards without really worrying about swarming the field by accident. And this card's just really good. Then if a face-up psychic you control would be banished, face-up while you control a monster, you can activate the effect during the end phase. Add 1 PSY-Frame card from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher as soon as you banish your driver, and this card is just really good. It's a heart and soul of the deck. I played 2 copies of Huckle Fibrax. Like, really, all of them can be special summoned, can only be special summoned, but it doesn't have requirements on how it can be special summoned. So Huckle Fibrax is basically just another special summoner from the deck, and is really good. I play 1 copy of PSY-Frame Lord Omega. This card is, like, literally PSY-Frame Lord Omega. This is, like, a really good card, and is definitely a solid card. I would run it at 3, but it's limited, so, yeah. I played 3 copies of PSY-Frame Lord Zeta. This card definitely isn't as good as Omega. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls in attack position. Banish both that monster and this card from your field, but return them in your next standby phase. If this card's in your graveyard, target 1 PSY-Frame card in the graveyard, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, add it to your hand. So it's got a little bit of renewal, but it's just not as good as Lord Omega. Like, Omega is just really good. I put 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon for some generic negation, as well as some Huckle Fibrax plays if you can do it. 1 copy of Chaos Ruler for the Chaos Engine. 1 copy of Draco Berserker for some more generic rank 8 or level 8 plays. 1 copy of Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. And I play 1 copy of Trishula because I have a Shooting Riser Dragon in this deck. So the reason I do this is because the deck isn't really known for spamming. Once you use Huckle Fibrax, you're not really going to be able to do much else. But the thing is that with the PSY-Frame cards being able to special summon super easily, you'll be able to go into Shooting Riser Dragon, use it, in another card, like when maybe one of your PSY-Frame cards, despite the fact that they're all tuners, except for multi-threader. Like, really, you can't do much with it. I don't know why I put it in here. It's just another beat stick in the deck, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you would change about the deck. Would you cut out the Chaos engine? Like, I thought it worked well, but like, it just depends on how you play the deck. Would you change up the extra deck, put one Huckle Fibrax, cut out the multitude of level 8 monsters? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.